Alright, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do a app review. I did one a little, I think it would be maybe about a week ago now. I did one on all the Pokemon apps you should have. Some people took it as I was saying one's better than the other. Not really the case what I was going at all. I was just saying from the ones that I use, that I typically use just because it helps me out as far as mastering sets when I'm at card shows, vending, everything like that. So I'm not saying one is better than the other, but I will admit there is one that's just a little bit higher and I would say is more complete than some of the other ones. And that's none other than, you guessed it, Collectr. Collectr, I would say, is probably one of the more complete package than all the other ones. As you can see, dive into here, jump into it. That's, yeah, I mean, you can see what I have as far as cards scanned, everything. We're just going to dive in and show you kind of exactly how to use Collectr, what I think about it, why I think it actually is the total package, and then just a few things that I think it could do better. So right away, obviously when you create your account, hook it up to your email, create a username, however you want to do it, and then it's going to actually track everything that you do. So every card that you scan that you put into either a folder or a binder or however you want to do it, and here it's called portfolio, which if you go here to portfolio, this is just my modern 3-rin binder. It's kind of what I bring to shows to sell, just kind of anything under $5. And so it's gonna, everything that I've scanned and put in here kind of tracks throughout the time. So, but to create more portfolios, what you'll do is you'll go up here to the upper left-hand corner, well, almost upper left-hand corner where it says Modern 3-rin. You'll click on that, and then this will bring up a bottom screen where it'll show you all your portfolios. So I'm someone that likes to try to master sets. So you'll see a lot of my binders in here. I still have another, I don't know, 10 binders, 12 binders to add in there and to actually go through and update Collectr and make sure I have all my cards in there. But to add a new one, like I said, just click there, over here, add new. We're just going to type in YouTube video. Done, create. Every time you create one, it does send it to the bottom though, which if you need to change it, you just click on the hamburger. Come on. There we go. And you can move it all the way to the top. So we'll put it right under there. So click on YouTube video, add products. Obviously, we're doing nothing but Pokemon today, so we're going to click Pokemon. We're going to start off pretty easy. We're just going to, well, take this Magikarp, Paldea Evolve Magikarp. What we're going to do, so if you don't have the Pro version, every month I think you get 25 scans. Could be wrong, it could be 30. But every month they reset it so you're able to scan it. But let's just say you don't have any scans anymore. So now you'll type in Magikarp, boom, find the right one, click on it. You can see raw, you can see graded, you can see pop. So population is how many out there of 10s. Graded is kind of the same thing. You can go through, you got BGS, CGC, tag, and then you can go back to raw and kind of see, okay, in a 12-month span, you can see how it's been performing, 6 months, 3 months, month. Down here, obviously, if you're going to add it to your collection, which we're going to, you'd press the 1. Say you open it from a pack. You spent $10 on that pack. Boom. Click on there. Price paid. Let's just say $10. Save. Awesome. So now it shows, hey, I paid $10. Obviously, what it's going for right now is around $250. But you can also change here. So say it was lightly played, mod played, anything like that. You click on near mint, click on lightly played. That'll obviously change the total value. Click save, and then they'll bring it down. So right here, it's going to still show the 248, but the total value is what you want to look at. Total value is going to bring in the condition wise. And obviously if you want to go look at listings and things like that, you can click on TCG, brings you right there. From there, we're going to scroll down, click on view more data, and that's when you're going to look at lightly played, near mint, kind of get a rough estimate of what everybody's been selling lately. That way you get a better price of if you're going to sell or what it's actually worth. But going back here, say you got the scan feature. So what we're going to do, pick up Magikarp, throw them on there. Hopefully there's not enough, hopefully there's no glare. Yep, so picked it up right away. Boom, make sure it's the right one. You can do holofoil. Obviously that's the only one. This is where you could change if it was a near mint. If you had raw, or if you had a PC or PSA or BGS or CGC tag, you could put that in there. But the cool thing is, we're just going to delete that. So Collectr, you can actually scan graded cards. Let's just make sure. I think I got it. Well, yep. So we got a PSA 10 Dragonite, which is that's exactly what it is. So just in case, hopefully you guys might be able to see that PSA 10 Dragonite. So right now, yeah, it's going for about 500. But obviously you guys know I use alt as well. Collectr brings in everything. So from TCG, from eBay, from the major websites and retailers, they're going to bring all the average prices. So typically it's going to be pretty close. And that's why when I was talking about scanning cards and when you switch it from near mint to lightly played and stuff like that, some people kind of got on me because I said Collectr tends to be a little higher, which it does. If you go to TCG, you look at last solds, you'll see them pretty often they're going to be lower on TCG than on Collectr, but you have to remember that's bringing everything in. So if you go to eBay, you look at the last solds for moderately played, it's going to be higher because you got to remember there's shipping, there's fees, that everything that gets tagged into it. So the initial price is going to be a touch higher. So just always make sure to double check, make sure you don't overpay, anything like that. So yeah, I'll show you how it works again. So we're going to pick up the Mew EX, we're going to scan it. So we're scanning Bubble Mew right now. There we go, which all these cards have dropped a little bit. So price tags were probably about 3 weeks ago. So you can see Bubble Mew is on there. You got holofoil, near mint. Obviously you can change it if you want, but everything looks good. The other thing that I love is, so we got a base set pack right here. So if I were to scan this, it should, as long as there's not a lot of glare, I believe it should pull it up. It didn't. Base set pack. And then you can go in here and select, let's do base set unlimited. There we go. So it's really only going to have that Charizard artwork. But then, yeah, you can click on it. But this, so if you're using this for older stuff, Collectr doesn't always have the pictures. And which some people say, who cares if it's not, you know, a Blastoise and it shows up here as Charizard. The only thing I would suggest is if you're selling this, if you're selling vintage packs, older packs, that's where you're going to actually want to go to eBay. Because you got to remember, Collectr is burning the averages from all base set packs that are sold. But, you know, the world is weird. The market is weird. When you look at things, a Charizard pack is going to cost more than a Blastoise pack. Blastoise is going to cost more than a Venusaur. And I think the last one is Raichu. Raichu, nobody really cares about too much. But Raichu and Venusaur are going to cost less than what a Blastoise and Charizard pack is. I get it. It's just the packaging. It shouldn't matter. I'm on the same boat as you guys, but that's what it is. So kind of going along with it. So again, so I wanted to show you, so this is a PSA 1. So I was showing you 10s. So even if I scan a PSA 1, let's make sure that's focus. It should still bring up in Collectr PSA 1. Oh, let's try that again. That's not the right one. You will get that every time. You just got to make sure that the glare isn't bad. There we go. That's insane. So it's not 234. It's going to read around because a lot of times when it does old school, I shouldn't say a lot of times, but it put it as first edition, which obviously you just come down here, switch it. So PSA 1, first edition, or PSA 1, unlimited, Sabrina's Gengar, 115. That's kind of roughly where it is. You can go check alt, which here, I'll do that for you guys right now. I'll go to alt, just so you can see that alt and Collectr, they're not really far off. They're pretty spot on. Oh my, it's, yeah. So last sold 115, 153, 88, 80, 100, 85, 56. There's only 34 and I got one of them. That's pretty sweet. But yeah, so you can see that it's taking the average of all of them. So yeah, I'd probably put it at about 100. I didn't pay for that, I can tell you that much. But yeah, we're gonna test it out a little bit more. So as you guys can see, we got a Ninetales from Topps. I believe it does have Topps in there, if I'm not mistaken. I know some of the other ones do. Yep, there it is. So you got Ninetales Topps Chromes Series 1, which that's what it is. It is Series 1. And then obviously it has a different one. So you got Base Chrome, Spectra Chrome, Sparkle Chrome, Techno. I think technically this isn't Chrome. I think it's just the regular. Unless if they're counting that as the base Chrome, but I thought base Chrome is just a hollow. Could be wrong, but so yeah, it still has those in there as well. We're gonna try one more here. We're gonna scan one of our packs. Not gonna lie though, I wasn't expecting Collectr to have this one. EX Sandstorm it's one of those ones where it's hard to find, yeah. So it's not gonna have it out there, which, you know, is not a big deal. It's not gonna have everything. But again, going back to portfolio, show you kind of how to do different things here. So obviously if you do master sets like me, let's just say we're in Obsidian Flames. So Obsidian Flames, you can go here, go to show set. You can scroll down. Otherwise, you could also type in Obsidian Flames too. But we know Obsidian Flames is somewhat recent. And so you can go in there and now it's just going to have all Obsidian Flames. So if you're doing master sets, you can go in there and you can check. The one thing that I wish they would change is, so the price that you see right away, or when you would click the add one, excuse me, that automatically does, I believe, the reverse hollow. I don't think, here, we'll test this out. So we'll get rid of normal. So then we'll add one, go in here. Oh no, it does do normal. Okay, so that's good. So then if you were to do all the reverse hollows, you would have to go in there individually and do that. So that would be the only one thing that I would, crap, I didn't mean to do that. I wish that there was a button on here that you could select for normal and reverse without having to go in. But again, that's me being picky. I'm just used to another app where I'm able to kind of toggle very quickly. Just because loading up all that data just to click reverse and then go back, it can get tiresome. especially when you're down here. It just, yeah. But again, it's a solid app. It's one of those things where I'm just being nitpicky. It's still a great app. I use it all the time for all my master sets. But the other thing that I've been doing just because of that little thing is I would wait until I basically have gotten all the reverse hollows and pretty much all the basic cards to begin with. Because then what you can do, you just scroll up here. You can actually hit add and you can choose all, actually this is different from the last time, but you can add and choose all the normal, all the reverse hollow, and then you go from there. I don't really want to, well, the one that I, here, we'll do this because I know I have this complete. So we'll go to my, whoops, come on. We'll go to my 151 binder because this I actually do have the full master set. So if we go search, come in here, add remove. So let's just say we're going to remove all the normal. Boom. So now it takes out all the normal. It kept all the reverse hollows in there. And then obviously we could go back in, hit add, correct. So if I were to, which says set complete now, if I were to select all and remove all, same thing. So now we're going back down to 0. You'd have to go through everything. So I think this is a pretty cool thing that they've done. Boom, done, set complete. So that part I think is pretty sweet. So before, when I used to go through, it would just be add or remove full set. It wasn't the whole variance. So this is actually pretty sweet since I've gotten into it. So I don't know when they did this. I haven't added my master sets for a while now. I've been really busy. I know I've been slacking on that part to add them in there. I've been using one other app just because it's a lot quicker and easier for me to do and put away. But now that Collectr has done this, a lot easier because obviously you're going to hit normals way quicker. Same with hollow foils. You're going to get those a lot quicker than you will with reverse hollows. So being able to do that. But what I would originally do before they made this selection was I would just add them all once I hit normal and reverse. Because then you can just go in there and then take away like the SIRs that you don't have and keep continuing on with that. But yeah, I mean, realistically, I think this app is the full package. I don't think it's really missing much other than what I did talk about in the other video, how it's just, it sucks that you just can't click one button and it shows, okay, you're missing these 6 cards. You have to click a few different ones and then it'll show you. Like here, I'll just go, I'm going to switch my portfolio. Let's just go to Darkness Ablaze. Come into here, filter, or wait, yeah. Because then what you have to do is once you're in there, then you go to search. Yeah, and then you go to show sets. So Darkness Ablaze. And then what you can do is then filter products not owned. Boom. And then now it shows you all the products that you don't own. So it's just a few extra clicks, but again, Collectr is more, I think realistically right now it's more geared towards keeping track of how much it's worth and everything like that, keeping separate portfolios. So I get why they do it the way that they do. Again, I'm not knocking it. Collectr is one of the best apps. I use it I shouldn't say 24/7, but I use it every day. Same with a few of the other apps that I showed you in the last video. It would just be cool if you could just go, again, right into here, go straight into your portfolio, and then be able to filter, and then hit a button. So like if it was right next to portfolio, GB, darkness ablaze, if there's a button right there that shows missing or not own, and then it would burn that in. But I get it, because you'd have to go the opposite, because what you're in right now is what you actually own already. So I get that whole point. It could just be the way that they developed the app, which I'm not saying, again, I'm not saying it's bad or anything like that. Just my preference, because the way when I'm out and I'm looking at cards, it's quick. I'm looking at things very quick. I need to know answers quick. So the few little steps that I need to take, to me, is a lot better. But this app has it has everything that you need. You can even go to Marketplace and you can buy cards while you're on here. You can buy sealed. You can buy slabs. You can even go on social. So like here are some of people. Oh, it's just Tim. But you can have people follow you. You can go to a For You page where you can see, a bunch of different cards. You can go to your posts. I haven't posted anything, but it shows you what your followers are. You can always come in here. You can edit your profile. You can put up, if you have an Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, you can socialize. So if you have a collection where you're trying to sell, easiest thing is to dump it into here, because then you can grab the link for your profile. So what you would end up doing is, I got to remember how to do this. So you would go into here, settings, profile sharing, collector showcase, and then you would copy that and then you would send that to them. But make sure the one that you are sending, actually I think this prints everything. Yeah, as long as you have everything selected, then they should be able to see every single binder, every single portfolio that you have. Like for me, I have everything separated, because here, I'm just going to go delete so I can get rid of that YouTube one. So like I said, I got a modern binder that I bring to all my card shows. So that's $5 and less. So that's going to be a lot of V's, EXs, full arch, baby shinies. You got A-Specs cards, things like that in that nature. Then we got sales sealed. So this is just some of the stuff that I've added. We got my display that's coming in. We got the Sword and Shield. We got Evolving Skies in there. Journey Together booster boxes. I would have more, but I've already sold 12 of them. I think we got 16 coming in, and I've already sold, I think, 14 right off the bat before I even got them. We got a lot more ETBs and stuff like that. Typically, with ETBs, I don't really put in here. Same with booster boxes, unless if I don't have it. Because a lot of times I can just go to my personal one. So if I'm saying I'm setting up and I'm trying to find prices to, put it on my ETBs, or making sure that I'm up to date, I just typically go into my actual collection of ETBs, because I have everything starting from beginning Sword and Shield, obviously, to the last Scarlet and Violet. And then I'm slowly working in on Sun and Moon now, and XY, which then again you can sort by date added, old to first. We'll just leave it. So I typically keep it by high to low, and then I kind of scroll through, and obviously you can search for the set you're looking to, but this also just kind of makes it a little bit easier, and just be like, okay, boom, I have that, put that in there. But I sometimes will put it in the sealed too, just because then I don't have to scroll through all the ones that I have. But yeah, it just all really depends on how you want to use this app. But I think realistically, this is probably the most complete app that I've ever seen so far. They have over, what was it, 2, 3, 4, I think it's over 4 million now. I could be wrong. Maybe it's like 2.5 million, 2.5 to 5, somewhere in there. But they have so many people that are jumping in on Collectr that when they see videos like this, and when they see complaints or they see stuff like that, they go in, they take that serious, and then they mod their app and they make it even better. So realistically, in my opinion, it's the #1 app that I use, other than PokeTCG, which is Dragon Shield. That's only when, for some reason, Collectr isn't working, which typically is never. Collectr has probably the best scanner app that is out there. So that modern 3-ring binder, just to show you, so this isn't it, but it's an actual 3-run binder, and it's typically like this full. So if you can imagine how many cards and pages are in there, I think it's probably around 700 or more, or maybe it's like 500 cards. I can do that within an hour, and that's just me scanning cards, going through, which is really weird. I don't know why I do it, because with those cards, it's not really a big deal. But the thing is, I scan through, I go through an hour, I'm like, okay, do I got my prices the way that I want it? Cool. And then typically after a show, I'll just delete the whole binder, and then I'll rescan again. People think that's crazy. You shouldn't do that. It's a waste of time. If you have a pro membership where you get unlimited scans, honestly, it saves so much more time than going in and trying to delete every single one and getting rid of the cards that you sold. It's just easier to delete it and then rescan what you have left. Same thing that I do with my singles. A lot of times I'll go back in, I'll start, I'm like, why am I doing this? I'll just delete. I got unlimited scans, boom, 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 boom. I'm done in like 20, 30 minutes. And then I put them in my, well, I used to have a binder for it. Now we got cases that we throw them in, because it's gotten to a point where, yeah, you can't really trust a lot of people anymore. We've had some things stolen at card shows, so now we just throw them all in cases. But yeah, I mean, I can't speak any more words on Collectrs. Just, in my opinion, it's probably the complete package. Is it worth getting pro? Depends on how you see it. It's $65 a year for pro. Obviously, I think it's worth it because, small business. I do card shows all the time, scanning everything. I'm meeting up with people weekly, I would say, sometimes on the daily. But yeah, as far as that, I think it's more beneficial to me for scanning. For you guys, it might not be. But yeah, as far as keeping your collection, seeing where it is investment-wise, whether you use it for investment or whether you just use it because you love the cute Pokemon or your favorite Pokemon. Honestly, I think it's the complete app. Hopefully, people didn't take it the wrong way when I did the other. I was just showing, little faults in the reason why I use all the different apps that I use. And realistically, faults just make things better, because if somebody hears, hey, this is a fault in the app, boom, we can either easily fix that. Let's do this and this to make it 10 times better. So hopefully I didn't ramble on too long. Hopefully you guys enjoy this. I know sometimes these videos get a little bit longer when they could have been shortened up. But yeah, I try to touch everything possible. As far as setting the price that you paid for something, you can change condition, you can change what you paid for a single card, you can pay, I don't think you can put what you sold it for, but realistically, that part shouldn't matter, because it's sold, so it's out of your inventory, so we don't really care about that too much. But yeah, it's one of the best apps to keep track of your investment and just kind of see where things take you. So hopefully that helps. Obviously, if you guys want to follow me, you can. PokeDras. Otherwise, yeah, hit that like, hit the subscribe. We're always putting out new content, new videos. Until next time.